because from 2008 till now, we have numbers, we have assessment, we have success, and we should be very proud. But I must be honest, the reality is very, very different. And I want to focus on that, not on the good parts, but on the reality. And unfortunately, numbers speak more than words. So I just want to share with you that in Greece, we have 1,500,000 mainstream students every year. We have reached as I told you before, in 16 years, 300,000 students. Then a lot of associations believed in our work and began 5 or 6 years after we began the educational programs to implement educational programs too. So in those 18 years, let's imagine, I don't have the official numbers, that the other associations and SCEP raised awareness among, let's say, 1 million of students. 1,500,000 every year. So we say in Greek, I'm going to do a translation which has no meaning. Μια τρύπα στο νερό, one which means a hole in the water, which in English is translating that I'm beating the air, which means, to be honest, that we do nothing. And we do nothing because it is not our job to do this. The state should be responsible for this awareness. So, our proposal, and this is the reason why I'm here today, and I went to United Nations and I went to UNESCO. We need to have to establish a state-run systematic awareness program to think accessibility, to adopt or cultivate an inclusive mindset and boost our ability to change. We need to establish, not us, the Ministry of Education for each country, to establish structured educational program in mainstream schools all year around within the school curriculum on a national scale in primary and secondary education schools. This program will be based on the development of empathy and the social and communication skills of students. We proposed it twice to our ministry. In 2019, after the UNESCO debate, and 2024, we proposed saying that we will help you to implement it. We will share our know-how with you, but you have to do it. They find the idea fantastic, but of course, the idea is fantastic, and that is it. That's it. So we feel very upset and very angry. And I must share with you that at the beginning, in 2008, I was like an 18 years old girl saying, okay, I was romantic and said, I'm going to change the world. No, I don't have the ability to change the world. I have only the ability to make you believe that all together we might do something to change something in this world. But we cannot do it without systematic movements from the states. We are not enough. So, what are the benefits? What would be the benefits of such a program on a national scale? For students, okay, our goal is not to teach about disability. You teach history, you teach maths, you don't teach human relations, you don't teach disability, but you can provide the students with the tools to think differently, to open their minds, to understand that diversity is part of human nature and to respect the uniqueness of every individual. I must say that I hate the word difference and diversity because it's our human nature. We all are different. I think we should focus on the word unique because each of us is unique. And this is what we have to respect the uniqueness of each individual. There are benefits, oops, you hear from teachers and school community because I must confess that the reason why we are reaching a young group of population, meaning the students, the children, is because we think that raising awareness from a very from a very early age is crucial, but because indirectly we want to raise awareness and to reach educators, the staff school, parents. This is the reason why now from 2025 we have a new activity which is it's very, very interesting, which is entitled Home is Where Inclusion Begins. And this is a disability awareness program where we invite in schools parents with with their children to come and follow this activity. And I must tell you that it's the beginning, it's the 6 first months. We do it in collaboration with the municipalities. It was a disaster at the beginning. We had no parents come because the resistance and all this fear and anxiety. This is not the children that have when they're very young the fear and the anxiety. We have it, and we are the ones. For example, in Greece, when a person, a mom, is with her child and she sees a person with a disability, she says to the child, we have heard this sentence a lot of times. Look, 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 look. Of course they have to look. Children have to look. And it's a person with a disability. I don't see the reason why they shouldn't look. So in fact, we try to battle ignorance and stereotypes to grown up. So through this, in fact, program in schools, we saw very often children coming back home and telling their parents how interesting was this program. And that helped parents very much to feel less anxiety, fear about disability. So educator needs to need tools, and following this program, they have the tools. They need awareness and disability training. They need the correct terminology. I talked to you about 2 or 3 words. There are so many other words that we should put in our add in our vocabulary. The practical do's and don'ts, because an educator should know if a young student panics when he sees a person with disability, an educator should be able to help him have less anxiety, but he has to be trained. So it is very important. I like this photo because it's where I want us to go and to be all together smiling. You see, no hard feelings, no fear, no anger. You see people, yeah, you see people smiling.